So, chapter one is about being a self directed learner. And this is something that we're going to continue to go back to throughout the chapter because one of the main skills you need to learn as an early college high school student is to be more self directed in your learning. Here are some objectives and things you should learn in this chapter. So, you're probably asking yourself, what is a self directed learner? A self directed learner is someone who has autonomy and they make decisions on their own. These are people who reach a certain level of success because they feel they are in control of what happens to them in their life. What does it mean to be autonomous? It means that you have independence and a sense of liberty, that you can govern yourself. When my son was about 4 years old, he suddenly started to develop some autonomy. And I'd always picked out his clothes. I'd always just told him what to wear. But one day he walked into the room and he was like, I don't want to wear this shirt. And because I wanted him to develop autonomy, I said, okay, well, let's go change to a different shirt. But that was kind of the start of it. It's when you feel independent enough to make decisions for yourself. As a student, that's what we want you to do. We don't want you to always rely on the teacher to tell you what to do. The teacher doesn't need to tell you, hey, you need to read this chapter. Hey, you're going to have a test tomorrow. You have to be self directed and do those things for yourself. Now, it's sad to say, but a lot of what you've learned in your K through 12 education is to be more teacher directed. And when you are teacher directed, you do what a teacher or a person in authority tells you to do. Like if you're a person who follows all the rules of your parents, which you should do, but that is still being more teacher directed. When your parents can start giving you more freedom and realizing, okay, I need to trust you, that's being more self directed. People who are more teacher directed reach success because of the rules others set for them instead of the rules they set for themselves. People who are self directed reach success because they create their own rules and they know that they are in control of their lives. That's where we want you to be. We want you to go from being teacher directed in your learning to self directed. Here are some common characteristics of self directed learners. Number one, they take personal responsibility for their education, right? So they don't rely on the teacher to do everything for them. They realize that, hey, I can learn this information on my own. They don't make excuses, right? So they're not going to say, well, I didn't learn this or I didn't do well on this because they take personal responsibility. Number two, they set specific academic, personal, and career goals. Every semester before it starts, you should probably create some personal and academic goals for yourself. Some things that you want to strive and aspire to just kind of help you stay focused. They approach learning from a growth mindset. Having a growth mindset believes that you know that your learning is not fixed and you can still grow, you can still learn, and you can still develop. They possess grit and persevere with passion in the face of obstacles. To have grit means that you keep going. You have passion and perseverance towards achieving your long term goals, even when bad things happen to you. We just, the last few years ago, coming off of a global pandemic, that was something that was very traumatic. Lots of people lost loved ones, they faced illness, they struggled. But the ones who persevered and continued to strive towards their level of success, those are the people who we say have grit. Number five, you need to exercise and employ critical thinking skills. Critical thinking is one of the skills that you're going to need in order to be a 21st century learner in the workplace. So you have to be able to think critically, think deeply about the situations you're in. Number six, they leverage their strengths and develop their weaknesses. That means I'm going to play into my strengths I'm going to use my strengths to my advantage. And then if I'm weak in a certain area, if I'm not a good writer, then I'm going to do everything I can to develop my writing skills so that that's no longer a weakness for me. 7, they identify and use multiple intelligences and learning styles to learn most effectively. So we all have many different intelligences. So one of the things we're going to explore throughout the course of this class is what the various intelligences are and what learning styles are. I will say that a learning style saying that, oh, I can only learn visually, that is a myth. All of us have to be able to learn in many different ways. So there are different learning styles, but we each can learn in all those ways. We don't have one way to learn. Number 8, they possess good information literacy. That means they are able to use the information they are provided. Number 9, they practice good self-regulation and self-management. That means I'm going to regulate my emotions. I'm going to control and manage myself so that I don't end up in a situation that could be negative. And they eliminate, reduce, and manage stress. That's one thing you're going to find being in this program you have to be able to do is you have to be able to manage yourself so that you don't get so overwhelmed. So if you think all in all, people who are self-directed learners have what we call good soft skills. These are all soft skills that can help you be successful in the workplace. So here are 4 strategies that can help people reach their goals. Strategy 1, you can determine your personal discrepancy gap, or PDG. Your personal discrepancy gap is the difference between where you are now and where you want to be later. For example, if you want to make an A in math, but currently you have a B, your personal discrepancy gap is what do you need to do? Like what points do you need to earn to go from having a B to an A? Strategy 2, you need to identify internal and external motivators. These are things that lie within you or outside of you that can motivate you. Internal motivators are your thoughts, your feelings, your talents. These are things that are inside of you that push you to accomplish something. Like having a pride or a love of learning might push me to try to be valedictorian. External motivators are things that are outside of yourself, kind of rewards you might receive to accomplish something. So maybe my parents give me money, or I get attention or praise when I do well, and that's why I strive for success. Strategy 3, you can use those 4 Socratic dialogue questions we talked about in chapter 0. What do I most want to do with my life? Why do I want to do that? How will I accomplish it? Or how will I achieve it? And what do I expect out of that outcome? And lastly, you want to establish your personal performance indicators, or your PPIs. These are activities, things you need to do, things you need to change in order to achieve your goals. These are things that can be actually counted and measured. So if you think about how you did last semester or last school year, and you realize, hey, I want to be an A student, well, what things do you need to change? What performances, behaviors do you need to engage in to be a better student? Maybe I need to schedule my study time. Maybe I need to read the textbook. Maybe I need to create some note cards. Maybe I need to stop hanging out with my friends. Those are the things that you need to do to reach whatever level of success you wish to achieve. And that's everything from chapter 1.